One of my favorite things about Donald Trump being on criminal trial right now is not just the fact that he's facing justice for his alleged activity, but I love the fact that it is driving everybody on the right totally insane as they twist themselves into pretzels trying to defend and even try to make the best of the fact that their candidate is sitting in a courtroom facing criminal trials. The most recent person, of course, was a man by the name of Stuart Stevens, a Republican consultant who wrote a column for the New York Times where he said that this criminal trial happening right now in Manhattan is somehow, for Donald Trump, a, quote, gift from the political gods. Mr. Stevens seems to be laboring under the delusion, as Donald Trump himself is, that somehow this criminal trial is actually going to just catapult him directly into the White House in November, in spite of the fact that literally every piece of evidence suggests the exact opposite will happen. So Donald Trump has suggested this is going to help him. Alina Habba has. And now we have Mr. Stevens, a Republican consultant, who thinks, this is the greatest thing for Donald Trump ever. Like, here's all this data showing you that it's going to destroy his political career. And you're just ignoring that and you're saying, Democrats, you're screwed now. Let me read you what Mr. Stevens said. The Trump campaign is not about persuasion. It's about stirring up anger inside every possible Trump supporter so that voting is a righteous act of fury, not a mere civic duty. If you believe the deep state stole the last election, the legal persecution of Mr. Trump is further proof of the state's desperation to keep him from reassuming his rightful place in the Oval Office. Combine all that with a less than inspiring Biden coalition, and it's a blueprint for a Trump electoral college victory. In this strategic paradigm, indictments and subsequent court appearances are a gift from the political gods. Mr. Trump is a candidate of anger and grievance, which has always had a strange quality for someone who was a millionaire in high school. How can the man with a golden toilet be a victim? White grievance was Mr. Trump's on-ramp to the victim podium in his previous runs. That's still essential to the Trump candidacy, but now, in his telling, he can add the burden of persecution by corrupt and mostly non-white prosecutors to the cross he carries to that Calvary Hill called the White House. Now, to be honest, I don't know if Mr. Stevens is saying this because he supports Donald Trump or if he is an anti-Trump person saying, hey, these trials are going to help him and hurt Biden. Y'all need to be careful. But it doesn't matter which side he's actually on because what he's saying is patently false. Every single poll, and I don't mean most polls. I don't mean some polls. Every single poll that has ever been taken on the issue shows that if Trump gets a criminal conviction, he loses the election. Every poll shows that. Every one of them. There is not a single outlier. Not to mention the fact that recent polls have shown us that most Americans actually think Trump did the things he's accused of doing, including a large number of Republicans. So most Americans do not think he is innocent. Most Americans believe that he should face trial. Most Americans agree that he should not have immunity. And most Americans want the trials to all wrap up before the 2024 election. So literally all of the data refutes all of these points. But what's even funnier, and I don't know if you caught this, so let me read it to you again. But Mr. Stevens makes a very damning point that ruins his whole argument. If you believe, the Trump campaign is not about persuasion. It's about stirring up anger inside every possible Trump supporter so that voting is a righteous act of fury, not a mere civic duty. Trump supporter. So you're already admitting, even as you argue this will help Trump, you're also admitting it's only working to the people who already support him. How is that going to work? The MAGA movement doesn't even make up a majority of the Republican Party itself. And if those are the only people he's energizing, well, guess what? Those people were already gonna vote for him. They were gonna show up. So your own premise is undone by that one line in your own article. Like you refuted yourself and you didn't even realize it. The data is not on your side. You don't even appear to be on your side. And trust me, the public is not feeling any sympathy for the big orange idiot sitting in that New York courtroom.